this is just getting crazier. Let me get the pop out for YouTube. Locals report blast air defense activity in several Iranian cities. This is 40 minutes ago. There's also a report that the Iranians allegedly fired a missile toward a command and control ship, naval vessel in the Gulf of Oman. I don't know what the status of that is. They're also saying that if Israel is to strike Beirut again, the war resumes. They will attack Israel. There's just so much coming out right now. I don't know if anybody's paying attention to it. 2 tankers on flight radar. What's up, Chantal? And what's up, 006? 006, do you know me, 009, in the new video game turns on 007? It's crazy. But anyway, getting back to this. Look at this. There's some crazy shit going on. And this is coming from all over the place. Locals report blast air defense activity in several Iranian cities. Locals reported consecutive air defense sounds in eastern Tehran and a loud explosion at around 8:45 p.m. And the Hakimiyya, I can't say that. Residents also reported several explosions around 10 in Tehran's District 14. Unusual sounds in the Narmak neighborhood. Other accounts say air defense sounds were heard in Karaj and Urmia, the capital of the western Azerbaijan province in northwestern Iran. Explosions were heard in Bojnourd airport, and explosions and limited anti-aircraft fire was heard at Robat Karim, southwest of Tehran. So something seems like it's going on over there. That's a lot of different areas. For real. Iran is blaming the United States now for what happened at the Kuwait airport terminal, saying it was a faulty Patriot missile. CENTCOM had to come out and say that is not true. They are the ones responsible. They did it. It's incredible. They're saying it was caused by a U.S. Patriot system error. This is what I'm bugging out on too. Iran targeted a U.S. military ship in the Gulf of Oman. That's what their media is saying. Iran targeted a U.S. This is 29 minutes ago. Targeted a U.S. military ship hosting a control and command center as it approached Iranian territorial waters. As it approached Iranian territorial waters. It wasn't in Iranian territorial waters, was it? It was approaching. So they targeted this ship in international waters. Just saying. What's up, Snoopy? Where have you been? I agree, though, Snoopy. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. That's what I've been saying. But things look like there's some weird shit going on. This is just... See? CENTCOM rejected Iran's claim that it did not attack the passenger terminal at Kuwait International and that the damage was caused by a U.S. missile interceptor. No. Iran struck the civilian airport with drones in a deliberate, calculated, unjustified attack, CENTCOM said in a post on X. So let's go to CENTCOM. Let's see what it says. Because things could be taken out of context. Oh, there it is. It's exactly what they said. Usually they take shit out of context. You got to be careful. Oh, no, John. What? You're going to make it worse than it already is based on what just happened in the last hour? How could that be? Oh, this will send you mad. I got you. It is making me. I don't know if I mean mad like anger, frustration mad, or insanity. I don't know which one. Maybe both. Found the case in UK with the Henry. Yeah, that was crazy. I don't want to get into. Oh no, I'm not on. And how he died with blood loss and oh my God. Oh, don't get me started with that. I mean, just think of the insanity. And the thing is, we must draw a serious line now. The West must address the East threat with this Islamic extremism. I'm not talking about Muslims, because there are many moderate and peaceful, loving Muslims. But these are the cray-crays, the jihadis, the regime. This is a cancer for everyone, everywhere. So it has to be confronted. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's definitely both. It's definitely both. But, you know, I want to try. I don't know. It's not funny. But I always say this. I always deal with serious situations with humor. Because that's my defense mechanism of dealing with things. Always. Even in medical situations. Life-threatening situations. Look at Flight Radar. If you can't read too much into Flight Radar, you know that. Or Pizza Watch or whatever the hell. You just can't. But it would make sense if we seen a lot of activity over the Persian Gulf because, they're here. Something's going on. There's a retaliation. There's something. They tried to hit or did hit, or I don't know, one of our naval ships. Just literally an hour ago or so. That's what the reports are. Now, I don't know if they're true. And I'm not going to say pile of salt. I'll take it with a pile of bullshit. Let's be real with it. I hate pile of salt. Like, Eugene, you said that, right? It was you? What the hell is pile of salt? Yeah, sent command. It's the Israelis are talking about. Because Iran is claiming it struck a U.S. destroyer's command center in the Gulf of Oman and warned of further retaliation against U.S. forces. This is also, check this out, what's been coming out. I want to make this is Iran's foreign minister. I want to make this very clear. An attack on Beirut means Iran will return to war. And here's some of the comments that came out from Iran's foreign minister. You ready for this? These are the people we're supposed to be negotiating with. Just think about it. Let me read this to you. This is in the last half hour, coming from the other media. Either the war ends both in Lebanon and Iran, or it ends in neither. So they're threatening Israel using Lebanon, that if Israel attacks, the war is back on. So they're trying to see, they're trying to trigger the president, call Bibi, make sure you don't hit Beirut. This is what they're doing. It worked one time. They already know it worked one time when he called Bibi to say, stand down. So now they're thinking by doing this rhetoric again is going to put more pressure by the president to Bibi. So they're trying to control Israel's reactions based on what the president's going to tell Bibi. And they know it now. It worked one time. They're trying to see if it'll work again. How far they can push. Anyway, I read that. The destiny of Iran and Lebanon in this battle are shared. The fronts are united from the beginning and until the end. Iran's armed forces are ready and willing to resume war against Israel at any moment. If Israel strikes Beirut, Iran will respond. Hezbollah is part of Lebanon and part of Lebanese society. Nobody can do anything about that. Hezbollah's needs will not be ignored. Communication with the Americans has not fully been cut off. We primarily continue to convey messages regarding the need to stop aggression against Lebanon. Um, more. But nevertheless, no tangible progress has been made in the negotiation process. They're getting more defiant. And this is just getting crazy. This was also, I want to make this very clear, and we informed all the mediators of this. An attack on Beirut means a return to war. So they are definitely on letting the president know that if you better talk to Netanyahu. Because Israel had said that any more future strikes against Israel, their forces, southern Lebanon or in Israel, they're going to go for Beirut. After all that was done with the phone call, they said, we'll do it. He said that Bibi said that he told the president, but if they resume hitting us, we will strike Beirut. And they have been. So how does Israel respond? So this is crazy. I don't know. And this could be absolute bullshit, but their media is putting this out there, claiming that this is the launch toward the U.S. vessel. That this was the actual footage trying to strike a U.S. command control center ship. Take it with a pile of bullshit. Forget about salt. Forget about salt. This is not a salty situation. It's just bullshit. Tired of it. And then they're putting pictures of, I'm not going to even talk about that. And they threatened something else. I just can't find it. Oh, yeah. This one. Again, by the Foreign Minister of Iran. We do not seek war, but we are able to continue the war against the United States and Israel for a very long time. We have the capabilities for that. All right, this has to stop. Bibi won't attack. He's not going to attack. Not if this threatens to open up the war completely. They are definitely talking to him saying, do not hit Beirut. But that's a stronghold area of Hezbollah. It's where the command center is. That's why Israel wants it. But this is the threat. And you know that people in the administration or the president himself is re-emphasizing to Netanyahu, do not strike Beirut. Because Iran is threatening to resume war if we do. So I would tell the president, are we to continue to cave in to every time Iran threatens something and we have to bend because there's a war possible? Look what they're saying in itself. Look at it for what it's worth. They're willing to start war again. This is going to be going on and on and on. If Israel does this, what happens if a deal is made and Hezbollah strikes Israel while negotiations are going on? Forget about deal, because that's not a deal. We're negotiating to negotiate. But while either one of them are going on, the negotiate to negotiate, or the actual negotiations, and shit hits the fan, ceasefire is done, or will they try to keep that ceasefire going despite... Can you imagine the chaos? Because they could use any excuse to get out of the negotiations by using Israel as the trigger. Oh, Israel struck Gaza. Israel struck southern Lebanon after Hezbollah did whatever, does whatever. It's done. It is so done. This is how ridiculous this is. Are we just going to continue to allow Iran to threaten the region and with missile threats? And look what they did today. Look what they did in Kuwait. Look what they allegedly are firing at our naval ship now. The bases weren't enough. Now they're targeting command and control. And they're threatening. Does this look like a country, IRGC-led country with a mouse that looks like they're caving into the demands of the United States? They look more defiant than ever. This is not good. This is just not, it's looking worse by the hour. And I don't know what the hell is going on. This is getting really pathetic, I have to say. Like, look, you're dealing with these people. You're trying to negotiate with these people. Terrorists. And you can't trust them. But I agree with you. I can't see. Oh my God. I've seen you here before, and hello, Etaban. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, and I apologize. But when is enough is enough? When is it? Because I used to say about Starmer, which I will always say, to get a pair of you know what? I'm starting to worry that the president needs to get a pair too now. He talks a lot. He needs to grow a pair soon. You can't allow these countries to attack our bases and naval vessels and, I mean, the constant threat. That's war. That's freaking war. It's an act of war. Let's not deny that. Exactly, John. It's craziness. What's it, like I said earlier today and yesterday, what's it going to take? Casualties? For them to say, oh, this is not acceptable. Ceasefire over. What's it going to take? Death? Destruction? Casualties? In order for this administration to wake up and realize this is an act of war? You do not wait until there are casualties. You do it now. What signal does that send? This is pathetic. So I hope something happens soon. Because this is, to me, is unacceptable. I think it's unacceptable to a lot of us. Something's got to give. You can't just allow them to become more emboldened by the hour. And maybe, you know, the buildup of them doing and but then again, every time they do a launch, you know, we detect, we see, we're watching, we know. You know. So we'll just have to monitor. But the stuff coming out right now is just crazy. In the last hour. A lot of crazy stuff there. Rhetoric, threatening Israel, telling pretty much all the mediators that if you don't tell them, if you better tell them, if they hit Beirut, war starts. That must have everybody freaking out. Because that means deal is done. Done. It's a resumption of war. There is no deal on the table then. What are you going to do? Iran's saying, they're saying it's a resumption of war if Israel hits Beirut. It's that simple. That's the signal they're sending out there. That's the word they're putting out there. So you know the threat of war resuming has them scrambling and, BB, what did I tell you? Do not hit Beirut. I don't know about the explosions. That was reported by Iran International. That's why I put it there, because I'm not saying I said it. I mean, This is such. This I can't even take it. And you know what the sad part is? Some people are now starting to believe in the Iranian propaganda because they don't know how trustworthy our stuff is. That's bad. That's dangerous. That's bad. Hold on, that's the command and control. Epic Fury. Yeah. That's that. Oh, right here. 51 minutes ago. This. See, but that says that says more. Look, this. An hour ago. Iran International. Locals report blasts, air defense activity in several Iranian cities. Eyewitness accounts sent to Iran International reported sounds of explosions and air defenses in several Iranian cities on Wednesday, including Tehran, Karaj, Bojnourd, Robat Karim and Urmia. Local reported consecutive air defense sounds in eastern Tehran and a loud explosion at 8:45 p.m. local. Residents also reported several explosions around 10 p.m. in Tehran's District 14 and unusual sounds in the Narmak neighborhood. Other accounts said that air defensive sounds were heard in Karaj, Urmia, the capital of western Azerbaijan province in northwestern Iran. Explosions were heard in this airport here. I'm not trying to say it. Tusi says it perfectly. Armin. And explosions and limited anti-aircraft fire was heard in Robat Karim, southwest of Tehran. So it looks like a lot of activity centered around Tehran, around it. So I don't know. You know what they're going to say? They're going to say they were testing defense systems. That's what they're going to say. That's what Iran is going to say. How much you want to bet? I'll put money on, because every time these explosions happen, that's what they say. They're testing air defenses. It's a drill. Or they might say they were shooting at little drones flying around. Yes, Happy Camper, totally agree. Even if you don't trust our guys, there is no way in heck I would never trust Iran news reports. Never. Exactly. No way. It's all propaganda. The media is used. I've said, how many times do I have to say it? The freaking media is running with Iranian propaganda. And people are starting to believe in this shit. And that is scary. Read comments above. You have to look at from literally James Bond perspective, because if you don't think of course we do. Of course we do. Of course we have Mossad and CIA and other intelligence on the ground. It's been going on for years. Of course. It's been going on for years. Especially the Mossad. Things have happened for nuclear scientists. Let's not forget the pager incident. Inside actually nuclear facilities, assassinations of scientists. Like I said, of course it goes on internally. They've actually pulled off some unbelievable things in the past. The Mossad. And the CIA is there too. Of course things are going on the ground. And I wouldn't doubt that the resistance being assisted by the intelligence on the ground. Of course. Even the locations. They even publicly said, people of Iran, contact the CIA, contact intelligence. Let us know where these people are. They even put that message out there. Publicly. So of course they're working on the ground with Iranians, resistance. That's common sense. And it's been going on for a long time. But that's what I think it is. That's exactly what I think it is, Eugene. It's internal. Definitely. It's definitely internal. Whatever this is internal, and they're going to try to say it was air defense systems. But meanwhile, it is the resistance. It could be the Immortal Guard. It could be a combination of so many things. Tusi was funny last night. He does have a sense of humor. It's his own. What happened? Tusi was losing his shit last night when it all flared up. He was overwhelmed with the speed in which updates were coming in. It can be. Not for nothing, it is. You see, when you're trying to navigate all the different sourcing of whatever's available, whether it's news outlets, which Reuters, Axios, definitely not the other side, or Telegram messages or posts on this, because I don't have to show like this. I could just, and Enforcer does this too, but I could download the videos and have them all ready to go and take more time before I go on. But this shit is happening like literally now. And you see how Steve is constantly looking at his monitors, like reading everything that he's looking at. And me too. I'm looking at I have 4 monitors. And I'm looking all over the place. Sometimes I get a stiff neck. So yeah, we're gonna definitely have to keep an eye on this. Telegram is quiet, absolutely quiet. So I'm not sure how much information we're gonna get out of here. Yeah. Why are they still mentioning that? Of course, there's a risk when you start an engagement. That's common sense, duh. Told lawmakers Trump administration understood the risk of action against Iran, but said the greater risk was Iran obtaining a nuclear weapon during a tense hearing. Of course, that's common sense. There's risk in everything. It's the uncertainty. We were talking about that before it even started. Duh. That's like, of course, there's risks. There's always risk. If there was never risk, people be doing it left and right. That's silly. That is so silly. That makes my stomach turn. It's just, you know what it is? That's just propping political bullshit. That's what that is. It's playing for some kind of points to say it and have him respond to it. That's all that is. Maybe for a future ad. Especially if shit goes... Can you imagine if shit goes bad? Let's just say. They'll use that clip in a freaking ad for the midterms. And Rubio said during a hearing, I could see them using it for a freaking ad spot for whatever, elections. I was in the pool. I just got out. Listen, I ain't nobody compared to these others. But we still are all together here. It doesn't matter if there's 5 of us, 50 of us, whatever. We have our thing. But I'm a nobody compared to Steve and Tusi and Armin Goldie. I mean, that's just Enforcer and some of these others. They have thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands, millions. But we have a legitimate discussion over everything, and I'm inclusive on everyone. Until the blood pressure reaches a point where I just got to get away. Maybe jump back in the pool. But they're really good at what they do, and they've been doing it a long time. You know what I mean? That's what they do. It's probably what they do for a living. I would think. That's like, maybe, I don't know. That's their source of income? I don't do income here. 0. 0. So, but we have a great discussion on this. And you know what? I'll say this. If you look at this chat and the conversations that I have here, and yes, sometimes it gets a little tense, differences of opinions when, we're all engaging with each other, but that's okay. That's what it's about. That's okay. It's like we're all having a discussion on it. And we're all sitting at a round table. And we're not going to always agree. But that's good. At least we could all talk about it. Do you see the chats in some of the others? The nonsense? We don't have much nonsense here. That separates this from the others. But then again, when you have 5,000 people watching, the law of average is going to say you're going to have that kind of nonsense by 50-fold or 100-fold. Because it comes with the territory, to be fair. That's just the law of averages. You know what I mean? But I look, and I want to sometimes comment, but I'm watching it on my TV. You know how Goldie and Armin have the pop-up chat? I'm watching it. I see Amir in there. I saw him there yesterday. I see a lot of people that I see here. But then I see the others, and I see what people put in there. It's like unbelievable. And trolling. And, you know, just disrespectful at times. That's one thing I got to say. I am happy that we have this. I really am. Exactly. I have to be honest. And I'm not saying that for patting the back or ego. It's just the truth. You know, from time to time, you know, we'll have one, but that's expected. They don't want us to be talking about this. And you know what? They are watching. They're lurking. There are probably a couple lurking because they want to see what we're saying and how we're dealing with it and how we're discussing it because they're observing our behavior and our reactions. It's not, and it's not like they're getting information. They're just seeing. I would think they're even happy to see that we're having this discussion. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Will. Speaking of that, I might make that Detroit City thing tonight. Motor City, whatever it is. I think I might do that tonight. But I wouldn't be surprised if they watch all these platforms to see what the conversations are like, maybe to pick up on something, maybe information that we know, being with our media outlets, and you know, we might say something that we seen happen, and oh shit, we didn't know about that. You know, they're trying to gather information, and again, they're trying to see the pulse, because if they observe us, they know how to trigger us. See what I'm saying? With the propaganda and the trolls, the bots, and all that, they kind of know how to try to develop a way to get under all our skin, or even to come in to try to divide. Do you know? Can we get a live reaction when you eat it? Oh, you're talking about the pizza? You know what I'll do? I'll do a short later. Well, maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to do it now. I'm not going to eat till later. I'm going to do it right before the Knicks game. But getting back to this topic. This all just broke out in the last hour, so I don't know if it's true or not. I don't. But the report of the anti-ship missile or something, that's already been posted. I'm not seeing more about that. Not that. This. This was an hour ago. Now, this is what Iran International is saying. Now, I don't know what the status, if this is even true. Iran International is usually not bad with their putting out reports. They really aren't. They have a pretty decent track record. But I'm not seeing nada, nothing from the regime outlets on Telegram. They would have jumped all over this. They did release a video claiming that that's a video of a launch attempt strike that they're talking about on the screen. So God only knows. But the threat to Israel, if Israel strikes Beirut, war resumes. Iran is making it clear. They are making it clear. So I don't think we'll see Bibi hit Beirut. Because if he does, yeah, since we already showed the CENTCOM post, Faye. Yes. But okay, CENTCOM called it false, but came out after that saying they hit it. Exactly, that they struck it. But did they attempt to? Did they attempt to? That's the key. Did they really fire that missile at a naval vessel? Iran was claiming that they struck it. Yes. Iran is now claiming it has targeted a U.S. Navy destroyer in the Gulf. Truth. Iran is lying. U.S. military assets at sea continue to fly, sail, and operate safely and unimpeded. Now, the question is, it's safe, unimpeded, and operating, but did they attempt to launch a missile, not strike it? It's saying that they had targeted it. They're saying they did not target it. So there you go. There's the contradiction right there by Iran's claims. Now, I want to see where this came from with the Iran part. Who was the one that sourced this? Oh, that's sick. I wouldn't even show that. That is sick what they just put. Sick. Oh my God. They're saying here the Iranian Navy announced that it had targeted. So allegedly it was the Iranian Navy. Now I don't know. The Iranian Navy announced it targeted a U.S. warship at the Sea of Oman a few hours ago and released footage of the event of an alleged launch. And they're saying, fake, false, it's a lie. All right, Dazov's got another one. Oh, hold on, I got to close out some of these windows. I'm starting to get a little too open with them. Let's put this up for now. And I'm going to put this up for now because I got to be careful what shows up on the screen. I just have to. Yeah, that was the video. And Tehran Times is running with it too. This is propaganda for their own people. To try to say, look what we're doing against the United States. This is propaganda for their people. Now look at this one. Army Navy. What? Army Navy. Tehran Times. Which one is it? Army Navy. U.S. military's evil command and control of the U.S. destroyer was targeted. And look how they talk. Evil. And this is the people we're negotiating with. They're evil. Oh my God. Thank you, Faye, for that. I don't know. What other nonsense do they put out? I should follow them just to see what they say. To monitor what the hell they're doing. Oh, look. Look how they ran with that story that it was a Patriot missile. Oh my God. I'm going to lose my appetite. That is definitely, we're not going to be part of the propaganda regime. That's what they want. What do you mean no volume? My volume is working. I can see my thing. Oh, I didn't put the volume on the video. No. If that's what you're asking. Breaking. Women dual uranium living. Yep, we talked about that. Somebody brought that up earlier. Yes. And they're going to confiscate his assets, his mansion, everything. You're going to be addicted to that pizza? Because you are, Chris? I already put it out as well. Another one of their outlets. Yeah, it's spreading, but doesn't mean it's real. It's propaganda. All coming from their end. And you know what would be crazy if the media jumped on it and are saying that it happened without verifying. What? Is that true, Eugene? Man stopped today trying to get on board a plane in California with that? What the hell is going on? See, gotta confirm. Is that confirmed? I'm gonna look if it's anywhere on X. So Trump was just quoted as saying, Iran agreed not to have nuclear weapons, not to acquire one, and not even purchase one. That's old. He said that a while back. Why are they quoting that now? When you are dealing with Iran, anything could happen. Their leaders are volatile. This came from that interview. This is from an interview he did with CNBC. This is old. Iran International is posting quotes from it. There is a certain reason for what they are doing, but we hit them very hard and we took strong action for different reasons, and they were reciprocated. What? I don't know. They're taking these quotes out of the interview, I guess, because I've heard this before. That's what Iran International is doing. That's kind of bizarre. Let me see about what you're saying. Well, this is something totally else that I'm seeing. There's something else going on, though. Explosive device found, San Fernando Valley neighborhood evacuated. There's numerous reports of this. The Post even put it out. What the hell's going on here? Evacuations underway in San Fernando Valley neighborhood as LAPD bomb squads respond to possible explosive device found. Holy shit. What the hell's going on here? What's going on in California? This happened this morning. After an apparent explosive device was discovered. Now, if there was an explosive device found, was it on the premises of a property? Was it outside the property? Who lived at the property? Why would it be put there? Were they targeting someone? I need to know more information about this. Whatever the heck this is. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. What's going on in California with all these bomb things going on? Is this common? Is this a common California thing? Like, what the... What? Come on. That's craziness. I'm just seeing if they refreshed. Ugh, I don't know how much more I can take with the comments. I have to be honest. I don't know how much I can take with the comments. Iran is agreeing to give up their nuclear weapons, their production of a bomb, purchase of a bomb. That's actually the opposite of what the IAEA, they're even on a faster track to get one now. I mean, does he believe them or trust them to think that they'll never get one? Never means never. When you're long gone, you still think never applies? Under a different administration? Never? Never isn't never. I would never say never. I mean, that's definitive. I don't think you could ever trust them to be definitive, right? Based on their history. I mean, that's just pathetic to even think that. The stuff was in his carry-on? This is crazy. So now there was one on a... I mean, what the hell is going on? So we have two different instances going on? One with a plane and one in this area? What the hell is going on? This is craziness. Man allegedly had explosive device in his carry-on bag at California airport. He was arrested after an explosive device was allegedly found in his carry-on bag. Kimani Osayandi Jones, 49, was detained. Jones was wearing a scarf covering his face and latex glove on his hands at the time. I mean, is this guy... Look at this. It looks like an amati or a pineapple. It was an M-type explosive device. I knew it. I could tell by looking at it. Sorry. But I'm familiar with them. Oh my God. So he tried to take an amati on a plane, and he's wearing a scarf on his face and latex gloves. This person is definitely unstable. You're just gonna walk in wearing that like that and not be suspicious? The name they're releasing, Kimani Osayandi Jones, 49. Right there. I'm sure people are looking him up to see if he has social media accounts, see what kind of history this guy. They're probably removing all that by now. But I wouldn't doubt people are trying to dig information about who this guy was. Oh. Scroll down, there's more. And a torch lighter capable of lighting it. It also had a knife, scissors, scissor blades, and an aerosol can and zip ties. Oh my God. He was traveling with 5 cell phones, one of which had a 15-minute timer ready to start, and another with a message from an unidentified number on the screen stating, "We will be awaiting your call." Oh, this is a terrorist. Bomb technicians safely removed the device, and upon further examination, its powder and fuse were found to be viable and energetic. If it had detonated near mid-air near a window on the plane, the device had the potential to damage the aircraft and cause a possible loss of cabin pressure.
You're told to optimize, to hack.
Holy shit. Oh, he's got links. Somebody was on the other line.
America's #1 streaming news, ABC News Live. Breaking news, exclusives, live. Keep streaming with ABC News Live.
This is crazy.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Gio Benitez. It's Wednesday, June 3rd. You've got questions, we've got answers. This is Search, where we're breaking down what you're asking right now in real time. So let's get right to it. We've got our Maya Ephraim right here. She oversees our online search trend.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. His luggage was also screened at an airport prior to being loaded onto the American Airlines headed to Charlotte and did not trigger anything suspicious. Upon arrival in Charlotte, a search of his bag and inspection of all his luggage from the plane used special case found nothing concerning. According to an affidavit, he had a history of being paranoid. A man believed to be Jones had previously reached out to the FBI tip line 13 times this year, including the day of his arrest, to report that he was being threatened and intimidated. Oh, so this guy's mentally... But still, that doesn't matter. What about all those cell phones? What about the message? That could just be an excuse. And create some kind of history to confuse. This has the big T on it. I don't know how anybody could say this doesn't look like a terrorist activity. It looks like a terrorist act all the way, to me. I don't want to hear that they're going to try to now say that he's mentally ill, he's paranoid, he's suffering from mental delusions, and this is definitely a foiled terrorist plot. I agree. I can try to play that. We could hear it. What's he saying? Shit. Why isn't it loading now? Sign in with TV provider.
Nothing wrong with you. It's a shame. Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. President, thank you so much. On communism, today you have some stern words on communism on
I just wrote that. Did you like it? Did you think it was well written?
Well, it's certainly very meaningful to a lot of Americans.
Well,
who
I'd
voted
read
for
it. Do you want to
because
read it? Do you have it? You could read it. It's on Truth. I
Sure,
just wrote
yes,
it.
for sure.
I just
Pull it up.
felt I've seen what's going on with communism, and I see this country. Read it. I'd love to have you.
Sure,
Thank
you wrote that quote, communists always do well with the voters, or as they would say, the people in the early years. But in the end, the country, state, or city goes to hell. Great violence proceeds at levels never seen before, and the entity dissolves into...
You see it happening with New York. You see it happening with Los Angeles and parts of California. And it's so easy, you know. I'd be the greatest in the world. Nobody would be as good as me. I'd get away everything. I could be the greatest. I would sell them. You're going to get free rent. You're going to get free houses. You're going to get free food. You're going to get free everything. But eventually that ends. And it leads to death, destruction, and squalor. 100% of the time. When I watched New York, and you know, I liked him very much. He stood right here, and he's been in the office a couple of times. The mayor of New York, I think he's a very nice person, and I don't know, he's a smart guy. I don't understand why he thinks it's okay for all these companies that pay hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes a year to leave. Because you're not going to have any tax base, and you're going to end up in hunger and squalor and death and destruction. In hunger and squalor and death and destruction. I would be better than him if I wanted to go that route. Ladies and gentlemen, you no longer pay rent. You no longer have to pay interest on your mortgage. In fact, I'll end your mortgage. I'm going to cut everything.
This is not me. This is them.
You have to pay for food. I'm going to give you a grocery store. I'm going to give you free
Oh my
food.
God.
You're no longer going to have, you're going to have the greatest life ever. Follow me, you're going to have the greatest life. And you know what? For a couple of years, that's such a powerful, I would be the best ever at giving it. Nobody would ever be. I had to sell free enterprise. Free enterprise is tougher to sell, but that's what's made our country great. And that's why it's great again now. If I didn't get elected, we wouldn't have a country. We really wouldn't have a country. This country would be finished. But I see what's happening in Los Angeles. I see what's happening in New York. Where I look at Chicago, you have a stupid governor, a dumb governor, a really
Hold
dumb
on,
guy.
I wanna try.
He's a failure in his family. Pritzker. I know the family. I was partners in a deal with them. I made a lot of money. They made money. We made a good partnership. But he was like an outcast in the family. He was a slob. And the mayor is a low IQ person. I mean, he's a stupid person. Chicago has a case, a real chance to become great again. There's a case, great again. If we were allowed to do what we did in Washington or Memphis, you know, I was with the governor of Tennessee yesterday, and he said, I want to come in. He came in to thank me. I said, for what? He said, what you did for Memphis. Memphis.
I had to log in with another browser.
Like 72%.
Because I was looking at a preview.
He said it's like a different
now I'm
city.
logged in.
Washington is even more so. We started a little bit
to watch Fox.
In Washington, you walk down the streets and people feel safe here again. It's a safe city. If I were, oh, by the way, in Louisiana, what I've done there is unbelievable. Because the governor, Jeff Landry, called. He said, you got to help me with New Orleans. We have a tremendous crime problem. And I sent in our really talented people, including National Guardsmen. And they did it unbelievable. They had the safest, they said they had the safest, we just ended about 3 weeks ago. They had the safest Mardi Gras they've ever had. I could do that in Chicago, but you have to have the support of a governor. You can't have a slob that says, you know, we don't want it. People get murdered, and he says it's fine. They lost 5 or 6 people last week, and they said, it's fine. They're not going to lose 5 or 6 people. And I would make Chicago so good and so safe. It's got potential. The longer it goes, the harder it is to fix. And San Francisco, we could do such a good job. My friend said, please let the mayor, he's a liberal guy, nice guy, I talked to him. He wants to make San Francisco good, and he's trying very hard. I said, look, I can do it much faster than you. Please let me have a time. I mean, I spoke to the mayor, and some very important people asked me to give him a chance, because they'd like to see if he could do it. And he's doing okay, but I could do it much faster, much better. And we can remove, don't forget, 2% of your people create 90% of your crime. That's a great number, because 2% of the people you can take care of. If it was 90% of the people, that's no good. But 2%. In Washington, right here in D.C., we removed close to 5,000 hard-line criminals. Many came in through the Biden open border. We removed them from Washington, D.C., and it's one of the reasons that we're so safe now. We have a great, beautiful place. Again, the fountains are almost all open. You're going to have the reflecting pool opened within hours. I mean, literally within hours. The water starts pouring in tonight. It's going to be beautiful. You haven't seen that since 1922. Think of that. 1922. It hasn't worked. Never worked. From the day they built it, it never worked. But you're going to see that. And people are all thanking me because Washington's beautiful again. The parks are open. We changed the grass. You know, grass has a life also. Like people, grass has a life. And that grass hasn't been changed in 70, 80 years. It died many times over. We have beautiful grass, beautiful parks, beautiful everything. We don't have people living on it. And Washington, D.C., in a matter of 14 months, Washington, D.C. is like a different place. If people are coming here, you know, the restaurants are all going out of business, as you know, because you use the restaurants. And now the restaurants are hot. In fact, if anything, we don't have enough restaurant space. They're all reopening. It's become vibrant. It's a beautiful thing to watch, and I am honored that I've been able to do it to our nation's capital. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
All right, that was President Trump speaking from the Oval Office, signing some executive orders and taking questions from reporters. Live from Texas.
So it looks like we missed most of it. Yes, the missing, that's what it was about, the missing scientist. Missing U.S. scientist body found skeletonized with gunshot wound as grisly details emerge. She was reported missing last year. It was found in a remote part of the Carson National Forest on Monday. She was last seen June 25th of last year. It was propped up against a tree with an abandoned gun laying nearby. So they're trying to, I guess, say that it was suicide? The body didn't show any signs of animal activity. The investigator firmly believes that foul play was involved and hinted that her devastated family will file a civil lawsuit against the news Mexico State Police for purportedly botching the case. That's all it says. And that's the New York Post. I don't know. There's a lot of suspicion with that too, with these scientists. And I know that the hostages, all the hostages were released, and the person from in Bakersfield is dead. I saw that come out earlier. There's a lot. Isn't it crazy, all the stuff that's going on? Isn't it? It's just like madness. Jesus Christ, that's horrible. All right, let's see if anything else is going on. I mean, this is just like craziness. There's a couple of telegrams. Not. Uh-oh. They just quoted him saying, an Israeli reporter quoted him, Amir, the president said this: in that part of the world, a ceasefire is when you are shooting in a more moderate manner. So shooting in a moderate manner is still a ceasefire over there? Because it happens all the time? Shooting at each other? As long as it's at a moderate scale? If you're shooting at each other, does that mean missiles and drones launched at U.S. bases and Arab countries and Israel? That's moderate? It's moderate? That's moderate. Missiles and drones, attacks on the Fifth Fleet in Bahrain and Kuwait, that's a normal thing for ceasefire conditions? Is that the most maddening thing I've ever heard? I might expect that if I was talking to my little cousin or something, and he might say a response to that. Well, isn't a ceasefire, they still fire at each other? Like with guns and stuff, and that's not necessarily... I could just see a little kid answering like that. In middle school. Maybe less. With that kind of an answer. That's crazy. That's cray-cray. Is he saying that's the excuse that the ceasefire still is going on? Because it happens all the time over there. It's moderate. Yeah, mostly peaceful. Mostly peaceful. It's mostly peaceful most of the time. And yeah, from time to time, love taps are necessary. Oh my God, John! They are rubber drones with little bangs. Look, you can get more damage from a firework. Don't remember, on the 250th this year, don't play with fireworks. Don't do that. You can get hurt. Oh my gosh. Oh, it happens all the time over there. It's normal. That's normalizing it, by the way. It's normal. It's just a ceasefire technically by name. But, you know, from time to time they fire at each other. You know, it's not just guns. It's drones and missiles and other things now. They've got new toys. They've got more toys now, so we have to include that all in on moderate. It's normal. This happens all the time. Holy shit. That must have opened up a lot of eyes. Like, what? Say what? Wait, what? Tell that to the people who live there. Oh my God. This ain't a ceasefire to us. And just think about it. 2 were killed, last I heard, in Kuwait. Dozens injured. Oh, but that happens all the time. It's part of a ceasefire. They shoot at each other all the time like this. Later, Snoopy. I wouldn't go to the city anyway because I got plans here locally for 4th of July. So I'm not going anywhere. I got things here in the house. I got all kinds of things going on. My friend is messaging me. It's always when I'm it always happens. All the messages come in. Oh, she's watching, that's why. Hi, Renee. You're off till the 4th of July. Well, that's nice vacation. What? Next day will... Oh, God, Gitmo. Oh, my God, Gitmo. Oh, my God. But I understand the point you're making. Minimizing. That's what's so scary about it. It's the minimizing of things. Making it normal. Like normalizing it. But again, he's just validating that situation in his way because he's trying to say that the ceasefire hasn't been violated and they're still negotiating with Iran. That's all that is. That's to try, because I'm sure people are saying, like me and others, how could they do this and the ceasefire is still going on? The questions are legit. How can there not be a violation of a ceasefire if they're firing missiles at our bases, at our military personnel, though not successful, thank God? How is that not a violation? Oh, it happens all the time over there. This is what they do. It's moderate. They fire at each other all the time. It's moderate. Oh, my God. Now, think about, again, the message that sends to our... He's talking about them. What about them attacking us? Is he talking about Hezbollah and Israel? Is he talking about Iran and Kuwait, the airport? Is he talking about them firing at our U.S. bases? He said them. It happens all the time over there. I got to read that again. What exactly did he say? Oh, no, there's more. There's more. In that part of the world, a ceasefire is when you are shooting in a more moderate manner. Then he just said, it's coming out, and we missed it. We could go another 2-3 weeks and wipe everybody out. Very easy to do, but if we can get something down in writing, that will accomplish the same thing without killing everybody. I would like to do that. What's he talking about? Like killing everybody? Is he killing the IRGC, the leadership? What's he talking about? That's very broad. And people are going to flip on that one. What's he talking about? Just think about what it says. Because people, like Tusi says, if you take it literal, you're reading way too much into it. He's talking about something, but the way he says it may come out a certain way where people will literally say, holy shit. And I'm not making excuses. I'm just being honest. Because this is how he speaks. We could go another 2 to 3 weeks and wipe everybody out. Who is everybody? The regime? I hope. But some people are going to say, what does he mean by everybody? It's quite... Very easy to do, but if we can get something down in writing, that will accomplish the same thing without killing everybody. I would like to do that. What is Fatehook saying? No, he did not say that. Don't say he said that. Trump says Iranian attack in Kuwait International Airport was not a big deal and described the missile attacks as moderate and normal. Oh, that's what we're reading now. But you got to remember, they're flipping it. Be careful. Careful how the media flips his words, takes it out of context, and reconfiguring it for clickbaiting or whatever. Got to be careful with that. We have to take it literally word for word, not out of context. And even in its context, you don't want to take it out of context because you don't exactly know what he meant by saying it. Oh shit, there's an audio clip of it.
Never been a military like what we have. We could go
Hold on.
another 2-3 weeks and just military. There's never been a military like what we have. We could go another 2-3 weeks and just wipe everybody out. I'd rather not do that. Very easy to do. They're ready to do it. They want to do it. They want to do it. But if we can get something down in writing which will accomplish the same thing without killing everybody, I'd like to do it.
We got to hear that again.
Military, there's never been a military like what we have. We could go another 2-3 weeks and just wipe everybody out. I'd rather not do that. Very easy to do. They're ready to do it. They want to do it. They want to do it. But if we can get something down in writing which will accomplish the same thing without killing everybody, I'd like to do that.
I saw the James Bond picture. It almost reminds me of Die Hard and he was a great actor, underrated to me. Alan, what was his name? Stop it! Damn, I totally lost my thought because the phone was driving me crazy. That actor that says cowboy, he was the villain in the movie, the first Die Hard. Alan, what was his name? He passed away years ago already. But when he calls him a cowboy, well, now we're dealing with James Bond wannabe. What do you think? You're James Bond, 007? Oh my God. This is getting more bizarre. That, I'm going to tell you, the way that sounded, that didn't sound too great. You're going to just kill everybody? I'm sure everybody means the IRGC and, you know, the leadership, the regime. That's who I'm sure that's what he's alluding to. But I'm sure people are going to spin that and try to reinterpret what it means and take it literal, like Tusi says all the time, which is true. It is true. They will spin that. It's easy for them. You're giving them something to spin. You know what I mean? Alan Rickman, thank you, Will. He was good in the Potter movies too. But that's a little on the cray-cray side. Now, Faye, did he really minimize Kuwait? What is going on? Oh shit, there's more coming from.
Pretty much the way it is. It's a different part of the world. You know, I'd say in that part of the world, ceasefire is when you're shooting in a more moderate manner.
And fuckers are laughing. Here's more.
I think we're trying to separate it. I mean, you look, it's a very different kind of a thing. We actually spoke with Hezbollah for the first time ever. We didn't know they spoke. And they agreed yesterday they're not going to shoot. Israel's not going to shoot. We're just going to see.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. But they've been shooting since he said it. I am eating an Egg McMuffin from this morning that I never got to eat because I'm always on the freaking move. Wait a minute. The Israelis are going crazy over this. I don't know what the hell's going on. This is confusing me. Thank God Chris is in here. He jumped on it. Bill, you're always confused. I am. When it comes to this shit, I am. Oh my God. Iran's not happy with Iran International. Oh my God. This is what they put, an Iranian put this. Somebody put this image. I don't know who it is, but boycott Iran International. It's propaganda, not journalism. But so what they do is, oh my God, I'm just looking at some of this insanity. This is the video. Let me show you this. Ad Kuwait. The airport. Oh my God.
هذا الحريق.
Oh my God.
فوق أمل الكويت. هذا.
Oh my God.
هذا الحريق. هذه مسيرة طاحت هني.
Wow.
فوق أمل الكويت. هذا.
That's crazy. Oh my God. It was reportedly crowded with civilians at the time of the attack, resulting in the death of at least one Indian national. Yeah, this is serious. This isn't a moderate strike. The people died. Oh my God. Wow. That's some. This is not good. Let me see what Faye put in there. Yeah, I'm thank God I'm not on TikTok. Look at Flight Radar. I will in a second. I want to see. Yeah, exactly, Faye. Thank you for putting this. Trump says Hezbollah agreed to stop shooting into Israel despite recent Hezbollah barrages, and says the U.S. has agreed to destroy Iran's highly inside of Iran, seemingly conceding to Iran's demand that the HEU does not leave Iranian soil. But he's been saying that they've agreed to destroy that. This is not new news. This is old. He's been saying that. They've agreed that we go in and destroy it. I don't think that Iran is doing that. I don't think that is happening. Personally, I don't think that's happening. Trump says Iranian attack on Kuwait International Airport wasn't a big deal and describes the missile attacks as moderate and normal under a ceasefire. That, well, I gotta see if I can get anything that he actually says that. Oh my God. What the hell is going on? Please, somebody help me. All right, wait a minute. I like to separate Iran issue from Hezbollah, and they are different. Iran is a bigger problem, a world problem. He's repeating the same things over and over again. Oh my God. This is getting really bizarre. If he minimized what happened in Kuwait, the Arab countries are going to be pissed. Like, this is normal? Was this normal before the war started? The war you started, and now you're calling this normal? That is not a good signal to the Arab countries. The ones you need to support. That is not helpful. Look at flight radar. Oh my God, what the hell? Yeah, they've been active all day, but that's more than, again, there's quite a bit of these tankers out there. More than earlier. There were like 4 of them earlier. Now it looks like there's like 6. This looks like a Pegasus. These look, it's hard to, sometimes you could tell by looking at the size. I can tell. These are probably the, oh, that's a Pegasus too. Is there one overlapping another? I thought I saw 2. But look, they're doing, oh, the rivet joint. Oh, that's important. Intelligence. Oh, they definitely might be up to something here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tankers. Oh yeah, there might be something going down. But I say that all the time. Yeah, they got the tankers up. This one looks like it just took off, maybe? Or it's coming, yep, it just took off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Am I getting that right? 1. The rivet joint is one of them. All right, so that's 2, 3, and it's 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, and they're circling. Look at them. 5, 6, and 7. 7. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to read too much into it, because this happens all the time. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that. But there's just so much stuff going on. All right, let me see if there's any more posts here. Trump confirms calling Netanyahu fucking crazy. Says he was perturbed by constant fighting with Lebanon. What do you expect the Israelis to do? Stop? When Hezbollah's firing rockets and everything at you? Supposed to stop? That's what I'm thinking too, Bean. It wouldn't be airborne for nothing. Yep, I agree. That's what makes me think this is different. What? Sweets? I could give you one of my ring dings. Are you going to work out later?
No, tomorrow.
Okay. Remember, they're coming tomorrow night. Tomorrow evening. Who is C-14? Is that Israel? Who the hell is C-14? I've never seen that before. Oh, they're coming out. Oh, this is important. Because Iran is blaming it on a Patriot defective strike on the airport. And of course, CENTCOM said, hell no, the Iranians are lying. Well, evidence is now showing that it was Iran. Allegedly. Evidence. A Kuwaiti army officer displays debris of an Iranian-made two-stroke gasoline piston engine that they use for their drones. Allegedly. Oh, now you see, that could be... That's what they're saying. It's the evidence. Take it for what it's worth. I'm just telling you this is what I'm seeing. That's the thing, man. You can't. It's hard. It really is hard. I don't know what Bibi's gonna do. I don't know what he's gonna do. Is his hands gonna be tied when it comes to Hezbollah and Lebanon? Yes, 007, never say never. I don't think an air-to-ground rocket would cause that much damage to a building. It was drones. That's what they're saying, it was drones. So God only knows. God only knows. All I know is it was bad at the airport. Someone's responsible, and it ain't us. It was not the United States. It was Iran. I mean, if I gotta see, I'm not gonna believe it until I hear it for myself that he downplayed the Kuwaiti airport incident, saying that that's like normalized. It's normal. I want to hear him say that. Because I don't. You can't do that. The right thing would be is express your condolences for all those injured and loss of life, and denounce it. And like I said, that's supposed to be Kuwait allies, allegedly, with bases, and they struck their civilian infrastructure and attacked your U.S. base. I don't know what kind of signal that sends. Bibi will either defy Trump or shatter the alliance with the U.S., or he'll bend backwards like he's always done. He is definitely going to bend backwards and do what he's told. That's the pattern. I don't see that pattern. See, this is why I got to pull it up to here. It'll be better. I don't see the pattern changing. I don't. I think we're going to continue to see him follow what he's told. I mean, there's a history. And if he called him effing crazy, imagine if he did it after all. It's done. It's done. And knowing his rhetoric, I wouldn't even doubt he throws this all on in revenge to Bibi. Could you imagine what he'll say? Here we are, the country that defends Israel, and Bibi betrayed me, betrayed us. If it wasn't for defending Israel, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. Could you imagine what he could say? Just to get back at Netanyahu, if Netanyahu were to defy him? Oh my God. He would unleash on Bibi. He'll make his life really difficult. If it isn't already. With the trial and all the other shit going on. I don't think he's doing a damn thing. He's got his vice in a nutsack situation. I'll put it that way. It's not happening. But and Iran has threatened, if you hit Beirut, we will strike Israel. They said it, plain and simple. Yeah, he did. He played down the argument. I have the little snippets of the interview he did and downplayed it completely. He did. I saw it this morning. It was released. I mean, I can show you guys that. It was earlier today. It was this morning. They had all the little snippets right here. But I don't know if it's in... Hold on. There's a lot of them. Let me see. Let me play one.
Therefore, you have to have a way to get out the nuclear material.
Okay. You want to see some of them? How he was interviewed and how he downplayed it? We can do that. We can see for ourselves. And you know what the funny thing is? How people say, oh, Bibi's the one that convinced Trump to do this and that and that. It's obviously who's pulling the strings. It's not Bibi. It's the president. Let's be clear on that. Now, could he have tried to influence him in his decision making? Of course he did. They all do. They all get his ear and trying to influence him. Putin does it. Xi does it. They all do it. It's not like it doesn't happen. Of course they're gonna. Every leader does it. Everyone does it. It's no different. Plead my case. All right, let's check it out. This is all from Amir.
Therefore, you have to have a way to get out the nuclear material and to dismantle the infrastructure that they have, the enrichment sites for uranium to make atomic bombs. I think all that is on the table, and I think the president believes that he can get this through diplomatic pressure and tough negotiations, and I think he should be given a chance.
Okay.
So let's talk about the call that you had with him this week, which is getting a lot of attention. The president confirmed that he said you're effing crazy. How did you react to that? What really happened in that call?
Well, I'm not going to get into details of our conversations. We've had thousands, well, a lot of them. And if you think this is a crisis, you should be in some other conversations. But we've always found a way. We have so many agreements. We agree on the main things. We want to get Iran, the nuclear program in Iran, finished. We want to make sure that Iran doesn't pose a threat to Israel, to the Middle East, to America, that it doesn't develop nuclear weapons and the means to deliver them, not only to Israel and to every capital in Europe, but to every city in the United States. That's our common goal. That's what we set out to do. and to expand the circle of peace, as the President and I did in the Abraham Accords together. So we have common goals. Sometimes we have, as in the best of families, you have these tactical disagreements. We always find a way to work them out, and we do so as great friends. We can disagree in the morning, and by the afternoon we have we're common action.
So I was going to say, when it comes to Lebanon and fighting Hezbollah.
I think he understands that Lebanon has been taken hostage by Hezbollah. It's basically taken over the country. It's an Iranian proxy that puts all the citizens of Lebanon at gunpoint and uses Lebanon as a platform to launch terror missiles into our cities, to launch killer drones against our civilians. And so if we want to save Lebanon, and if we want to get a Lebanese-Israeli peace, as I do, we have to disarm Hezbollah, and we have to demilitarize Lebanon. And I think that's a goal that, it's not I think, I know that this is a goal that the President and I share. And we're faced with an enemy that wants to destroy our country, that wants to destroy your country, that wants to destroy free democracies everywhere and spread their terrorist ilk around the globe. So when we fight Iran and its proxies, we're not only fighting our war, we're fighting your war, and frankly, Europe's war as well. And therefore, you have to have a way to get out the nuclear material and to dismantle the infrastructure that they have, the enrichment sites for uranium to make atomic bombs. I think all that is on the table, and I think the President believes that he can get this through diplomatic pressure and tough negotiations, and I think he should begin.
So that was the snippets from Netanyahu with CNBC. An interview he did. And Amir was the one that put all that out there this morning. So that we can put it in perspective, coming from his own mouth. And how he did downplay it. It's like, and I be honest, it is true. When you have relations with people, you're going to talk straight up. And sometimes it gets heated. It is like family. It's like, listen, what the fuck were you thinking? It's like, I get it. But he definitely tried to minimize it and downplay it, no doubt. Exactly, Bean. Exactly. Absolutely, Bean. Absolutely. That's a good question, Dave. That's a very valid question. How many times did they have a fallout before all this? I'm sure, though, that they don't agree on something and it gets hot and heated because the president ain't going to hold back. We know that. The NDA Section 224 integrating U.S. and Israeli militaries. What is this? I saw something about that. I think it's where they're going to develop along with us, like a joint development of weapons and equipment together, working on the technologies. Instead of separate, it's like a joint. I think that's what that is. Integrating U.S. Israeli militaries. I think that's what that's referring to. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. But allegedly, they're working on doing things together. A U.S.-Israeli joint development. Did you hear? Yes, Nick. He's dead. All the hostages were freed, thank God. I can't believe what I heard last night from somebody in chat that he traded a Dr. Pepper for a hostage. That's just sick. Just think how demented a person has to be. Think about that. I'll take a soda and I'll give you a person. How's that? Oh my God. A fucking soda for someone's life? What is wrong with people? What the hell is going on? Today, somebody on a carry-on has terrorist materials on them and phones, like if they were communicating with someone to do it in the midair, wearing a scarf and latex gloves. A bomb found suspicious device in a neighborhood in California. What happened yesterday in the Chase Bank? What the hell is going on in California? And people are telling me, oh, this happens. I'm like, what? What do you mean this happens? The hell's wrong? Yeah, that's what it is, right, Bean? Joint tech? That's what I thought it was. I heard something about that. But my gosh, I don't hear about that here. Not even in New York. Well, I'm not in New York City, but not here. I don't hear that shit. The worst is pizza pranks. Oh my God. Joint research and tech, same thing as you said. Okay, thank you, Bean. I wasn't sure. I remember seeing something about that. What? Oh, you don't know about the airplane terrorist? Can somebody share that? It was an ABC article. Can someone share that article again so we can put it up on the screen? How the TSA definitely prevented a terrorist horrific event from occurring on a plane that was departing, I think, where was it going, to Charlotte? Oh no, it left Charlotte? I don't even know. I think Charlotte was headed to Charlotte. I'm not sure. Can somebody share that link again? So I don't have to, I could do it on history. It'll come up on history. Duh. I still got things to do. I just jumped on when I was seeing all this craziness. Yeah, here it is. I got it. This is cray freaking cray. I could blow it up so you guys could read it. Oh, look what I just did. I closed it. Like a real... I closed all my windows. Oh my God. Steve was having a little issues. I think it was yesterday. Because he was rushing. Like I do. Oh my gosh. Let's go back. ABC. But I wanted to make the screen larger. That was the whole point. So you guys could read it a little bit better. So man allegedly had, not allegedly, man allegedly had explosive device. No, it's not alleged. It is confirmed. Look what's inside the bag. Man was arrested after facing federal charge after an explosive device was allegedly found in his carry-on bag. Allegedly? Found in, well, you know, he's got to go through the due process. That's why they say it like that. It's not like he's got to face a trial and all that shit. He was detained at the Sacramento International Airport on Saturday. This was on Saturday. And we're just hearing about it now on Wednesday? What the hell? What? Wait, what? What's up, Diesel? Oh, wait. Are you talking to me? Yes. Jones was wearing a scarf covering his face and latex gloves on his hands at the time, they said in a press release. In his carry-on bag, he had an M-type explosive device, meaning an improvised explosive, and a torch lighter capable of lighting the explosive. His carry-on bag also contained a knife, scissors, scissor blades, an aerosol can, like he could set that on fire, and zip ties, if needed, I guess. And this is the crazy shit. He was traveling with 5 cell phones, one of which had a 15-minute timer ready to start, and another with a message from an unidentified number on the screen stating, "We will be awaiting your call." What the fuck? That is crazy. And there it is. Hostages released, suspect dead after hours-long standoff at bank. And then, wait. What? Faye, something happened in Chicago too? They safely removed the device. They found that the powder and the fuse were viable and energetic. If it had detonated near a window or a plane, the device had the potential to damage the aircraft and cause possible loss of cabin pressure. He's been charged for unlawful possession of explosive material. It's some bullshit. He should be charged with terrorism and all kinds of other shit. No way. If convicted, he faces 5 years and a $250,000 fine. Are you crazy? Wait a minute. If this is the evidence right here, how is he not convicted of a terrorist plot? conspiracy to commit terrorist. I mean, come on. That's the only charge? Oh my God. That is crazy. 5 years max for that? For this? And what was the charge? He's been federally charged with unlawful possession of an explosive material at an airport. Does it mean that he has to be on the plane with it to be considered terrorist? What the? Can somebody explain that to me? How he's not being charged for a terrorist crime? What the hell is that? It's obvious what he was intending to do. That's terrorism. There's no other way to say that's terrorism. I don't know. I think the laws need to be harsher. Like, who said it just now? Hug a thug justice. You know, that would make a great t-shirt, Thomas. With, actually, I mean, you could make it sarcastic. You could make it serious. You know, but for real. Exactly. It's a quarter stick. It can do a lot of damage on a freaking plane. And the aerosol can with a lighter, he's probably using the aerosol can to do this. Maybe. Or to spray it in someone's eyes. Who knows what his intentions were? He's got zip ties, he's got a knife, he's got scissor knives and all kinds. Replacement blades. What the hell is going on? Yeah, I gotta see what happened in Chicago. I gotta see what the hell happened in Chicago. What's this now about? Where is it? Where's the link? Right here. Thank you, Faye. Let's see what the hell this is. Oh my God. Oh my. Chicagoan restrains man who allegedly choked off-duty flight attendant tried to open the cockpit. A Frontier Airlines flight heading to Chicago on Sunday had to divert to Miami International because a passenger choked an off-duty flight attendant shortly after he attempted to open the emergency exit door and enter the cockpit. About 45 minutes after Frontier flight departed from San Juan, Puerto Rico, en route to Chicago, Passenger Juan Gabriel Reyes became disruptive on board, stating he wanted to get off the plane and making attempts to open the emergency door. What is going? Do we need to have like mental checks before we go on planes now? After he was prevented from opening the door, he approached the cockpit and began shoving his shoulder aggressively against the pilot's door. As a flight attendant ushered him away from the door and allowed him to use the restroom on the way back to his seat, he attempted to urinate on the bathroom floor. He was escorted to a new seat and an off-duty flight volunteered to sit in his row. The off-duty flight attendant relocated his belongings and went to use the restroom, but Reyes tried to grab the man's bag off the floor, according to the affidavit. When he asked Reyes to stop and moved to a seat across the aisle, Reyes got up, got on top of the victim and grabbed the victim by the head and choked him. Several passengers worked together with on-duty flight attendants to restrain him with flex cuffs, which he broke out several times, and seatbelt extenders, according to the documents. Oh my God. He was just trying to push back and fight back and try to like get his arms free, but I pretty much had him completely restrained. Longwood could be seen in the video wearing a jiu-jitsu t-shirt, which is fitting because he's an instructor. I knew that I could take care of it and handle it without him or anybody else getting injured. I was already ready for something to happen, so I instantly, restrained him, put him in his row, laid him down, tied him up with a seatbelt. The flight was diverted to Miami. He was taken into custody, turned off to FBI for questioning. The flight continued on to Chicago a few hours later. He's been charged with interference with flight crew members and attendants and assault with maritime and territorial jurisdiction. Shit, he tried to fucking go into the plane's cockpit. What is it with these charges? A lot of reports of unruly passengers, 687 this year. Another one, after a passenger made multiple attempts to try to breach the cockpit. What is it? Is this some like zombie apocalypse crazy shit in the air kind of thing going on? He may have had a medical issue, was not charged. Was not charged. Wait a minute. So, because he had a medical issue, he was not charged. But was he recommended to get some psychiatric help? Or put in a place for, for observation? And you tried to go into a plane's cockpit. Medical issue. Not charged. They felt sorry? Can somebody explain to me what the hell is going on? Oh my God. Yeah, it does sound like someone with serious mental issues, though. I agree. My brother had schizophrenia and he died from it. Oh, they need to have air marshals on flights for sure, or some kind of a law enforcement presence, please. Absolutely, especially now in these times. He was detained by federal air marshals. How could you not have air marshals on planes? Or some type of law enforcement? Especially if the numbers are like that. Just think about it. If they're saying there's 687, how many days so far have passed in this year? Like 190? That's like 3 a day. 3 a day. More. A little more than that. A little more than 3 a day. That's crazy. 3 a day of unruly passengers. The hell is going on with people? Hypoglycemic could cause that kind of type of behavior? I'm not familiar with that. Yeah, I see that. I'm surprised the House passed that. This must be some of the people that lost the primary and are now doing a revenge tour. If I had to guess, I have to see more information about this one. What the hell is going on now with this? But it's never going to pass because the president would never sign it. And they don't have the filibuster to overwrite the president's veto. So it's not going to go anywhere, this war powers thing. Just to be clear, it would never happen. House votes to rebuke Trump over a war with Iran. The House passed, a largely symbolic war powers resolution over objections from Republican leaders that it would weaken the president's hand in negotiations with Iran. It's symbolic. It's not going to do anything. There were some Republicans absent. So that's basically it. But it is symbolic. It is symbolic. It's definitely symbolic in nature. It's not going anywhere. Not in reality. I used to work for TSA. You would be amazed how many people have issues when they get on a plane. Some people just can't handle being on a flight. And the individual may not realize it until airborne. Could that be their phobia of flying? And that affects them mentally? Could be they're flying for the first time and they're paranoid and they just like freak out. I'm not making excuses, but some people, I could see that happening. That some people just are flying and they just lose it? Good question. Exactly. Trump vetoes, it's done. He's not going to sign it. He's not going to sign anything anyway. So it's all bullshit. Actually, it's a waste of taxpayer time and money. To be honest, they could be doing more serious things than vote on something that you know is going nowhere. But that's just to put themselves on the record. Because that's what that's about. So they could say they did or didn't. You've seen it a few times? I love flying. I put my earbuds in. I always get a window seat, and I just look out, even if it's dark. I love it. I love looking out the cockpit, listening to my music, and then if I nod off, I nod off. That's how I fly. All the time. If I don't have my earbuds, I'm in trouble. Then it could get a little dicey. I must have music while I'm flying. Passes the time, and I enjoy it. And I look out the window, and if I get tired, I fall asleep. That's how I do it. What is going on with these messages? I must find out, because there's a lot of activity going on here. Oh, he's getting tested in the ER. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are just not wired right out there. And that's what you have to be concerned of. It's like driving. You could be the best driver, but it's the others on the road that are the danger. Do you know what I mean? Out there, it's almost like there's a lot of cray-crays out there. I don't know about to say a lot. There are a few. But they're not wired right. Those are the ones you got to worry about. And you don't know who they are. So Josh says he used to fly all the time, like on a weekly basis, all over the place. And he never had crazies on his flight. So the law of averages were in your favor for not encountering that. Imagine. Just imagine. Turbulence is one thing. It can unnerve anyone, especially if it gets really. It happened to me. And I was like, oh, fuck. This. I didn't say anything, but this is a little much. But you could see do you know, like when you fly, do you know when you could feel the tension in the plane? Like people are quiet. Some people are just doing their business. I'm one of them. It doesn't bother me. But you could actually feel the tension before takeoff. And even during landing, but a lot of it is takeoff. It's quiet. People are settling in. Imagine you witnessing a crazy outbreak of something like this happening on a plane. And you're sitting there and you're witnessing this. That has to make you freak out inside. You'd be contained and controlled about it, but I'd be like, holy fuck. What the is going on? And imagine how kids could react. Be scared. You know what I mean? It could be traumatic. And that's for future. You may never want to fly again after going through something like that. I'm surprised the airlines don't get sued when something like that goes on, that people say, oh, this caused me trauma, or my child trauma, or this. That was traumatizing. Witness an altercation, a disruption, an unruly passenger, like what happened on this plane. That they had to choke. He was trying to choke somebody else. He was trying to get into the cockpit. Emergency door opening. Wanted to get out. Some guy from Puerto Rico. They had to tie him with the seat belts and all kinds of other shit. Imagine witnessing this skirmish happening and this commotion happening on a fucking plane in front of you. That would be crazy. Turbulence is one thing, but that's not the kind of turbulence I want to see and witness. Just saying. I got to go soon. I got to take... And I'm definitely going to go watch the Knicks game. Let's see if there's any other new crazy news out there. But California, man, you got a problem. What is it with these threats? Bombs found, crazy people. I've never seen anything like this. It's new to me. Oh, so they're live talking about this topic. It's Amir. He's doing a podcast right now. Iran continues to escalate. Hezbollah keeps attacking Israel, and questions are growing about America's response in the Middle East. And then he's talking about a podcast. Like the idiot kid who names his device. Yes! Yes, Diesel. How crazy is that? I saw that too on the device. That word that starts with a B, 4-lettered. And it's not bull. Yeah, that's true with the apples. Isn't this crazy though? We live in crazy times. Now, when we have our town celebration for the 4th of July, and there's multiple ones that go on in the area. Like, I think I might do a change of pace this year. I might go to a different one this year. I'm not going to say which one because I'm not going to tell people where I am. But they have a lot of police presence. And it's not just local. It's not just local police. It's state. And there's other people there that you don't know because they're not dressed their civilian clothing. But I feel kind of safe. I do. I don't want to say I don't because it's not true. I feel safe in the environment, but you never know a crazy. And the thing is, you say to yourself, it's never going to happen to me. And how many times you hear people say, I never thought that I would experience this. I don't want to be one of those people. I don't want to be one of those people. You never think it's going to happen to you until it does. So we all, I'm saying it for a reason. We all have to be aware, especially here in the United States. 4th of July. Pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention. And if you see something suspicious, tell a police officer, tell somebody. It's better to be safe than sorry. And the worst that could happen is they'll go up to the person and talk to them and say, no, everything's fine. But if they're acting suspicious. Yes, Dave, we've discussed that numerous times about the Californian that was arrested working along with the Iranians. Money, all that. They're taking his mansion. This guy had tons of money. Yeah, that we mentioned about that earlier. About that individual. Yes, if you see something, say something. Saw on Flight Radar earlier there were abundance. I counted 7 earlier, Diesel, and River Joint was out there too. Now that made me a little like they're flying that along too. That kind of tells me something's going on. You can hardly understand what I'm saying. I don't know why. Maybe I'm too low. How about that? Better? I gotta go anyway in a few minutes. Why? Yeah, my audio messed up. Something messed up. I think it was one of the clips. I could tell it's my audio on the computer. It messed my settings up. I could see it. And I gotta go into the control panel because it's bouncing to a certain level on Streamlabs. I can see it. Thank you, Daryl, for letting me know. I could actually see it on Streamlabs. Oh, yeah. It's down to 68%. Now it should be better. Thank you, Daryl, for letting me know. And hello, Sarah. There's 6 now in the air. There were 7 earlier, plus the rivet. We could take a look at it. I mean, it's been going on for quite some time now. I don't know, I'm having like issues. And I do got to get off soon. And I definitely got to get my munchies for tonight's game. Then I got a lot to do tomorrow getting ready for company. It's going to be busy. A lot going on. It was nice. I fell asleep in the pool. I don't know if you could tell, but I got burned again. More. I fell asleep with the music on. For almost an hour. In the sun. There's no clouds here. It's been sunny all day. I'm going to pay. 1, 2, 3. Well, not necessarily. We'd have to check them all. Most of them look like tankers, but I want to see. Verify. These are definitely tankers. The 2 of them. But is this a tanker? It is. Poseidon. So there's 4 tankers right here. What is that? Space. The fuck is that? Space. There's another tanker. Oh, wait. Is there 2? Overlapping? Maybe one is landing and one is taking off? That's what it looks like. This looks like this one landed. This one's taking off. Uh-huh. It's saying it looks like it might be departing, but why would it stop? Tel Aviv not available. Unless it did come into land. It's not showing. Maybe if we zoom out, we can see if it went anywhere. Sometimes it shows the lines where it was. I don't know. Maybe it's taking off. Preparing to take off. After this one takes off. Could be. They're both going up in the air. So let's just say that is 2. But in the Persian Gulf area, there are 4. Plus the Poseidon. Which is definitely collecting data, intelligence. So yeah. This has been going on all day. And I'm sure it'll go on through the night. Like right now, what? It's 1:20 a.m. in Iran? I think. Ish. Have a great night, Witch Moon. See you maybe tomorrow. Or maybe later tonight I'll come back on, but after the game. But I got to get up early. I got a doctor's appointment at 9:30 tomorrow. Oh my God. Then I got to come back here, finish cleaning, cooking chicken parmesan with baked ziti. Then my company comes in the evening. It's going to be 90 degrees tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be crazy. Dave. That's funny. Have a wonderful night, Witch Moon. You guys are too funny. You know that? And you know what you're going to try to make me do is, I don't have to look because I could see it on the camera. Could you imagine some crazy shit though happening like that? You see all the models I've built? I built those with the lights. All of them. Uh-oh. No, I don't see anything, no. I thought I saw something, no. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I'm making that tomorrow for my company. You could just talk to the people that have been here. They'll tell you how I go all out cooking and all that. I'm a crazy person. I'm gonna cook for 2 days. And then Saturday, I'm planning to do a barbecue for us in the backyard when we get back from Pine Bush. Mom is not going. I don't know if he's going either, so they'll be here. It's going to be me and my friends going to Pine Bush. Mom's done it, been there, done that, you know, and it's hard for her at her age to be walking around all that. And he's, you know, he's interested, but not as interested. Kendrick doesn't. The gym rat rather be at working out in the room or doing something like that and playing Fortnite than going to Pine Bush. You know what I mean? What's up, Moses? So yeah, I'll be busy though. I'm like cray. Anyway, like I said, he's gonna ask me any second to take him to the gym. I may wait till everybody's gone and make myself a Motor City pizza and be like Mikey. He'll eat anything. And I am going to splurge out and enjoy all by myself like a selfish person that I am not. I am going to... You want another pizza? I'll make you another pizza, but you're not touching the Motor City pizza. I got the pickles. There's actually another Walmart delivery coming any minute. Any minute, if it's not already here. I did get the pickles. Yesterday morning, after I went to the police department, I went to Walmart. And I got my pickles and other things, but yes. I'm doing good, Moses. All is good, thank God. Don't, until later, Bill. Take care and enjoy your company. Diesel will watch and share any major hobby. Yes, please do that. You guys know. Some of you know how to reach me directly. If you don't, leave a comment after the stream is over, because I see the comments. If there's news, put it in the comments area so it brings it to my attention and I'll come back on. Even if the Knicks game is on. I mean, we've seen O.J. Simpson in the finals during a Knicks game. Against another Texas team. Oh my God. Think about it. It was Houston back then with freaking Simpson with the chase. It would be the Knicks' luck that something else goes cray-cray during the finals. Because it happened with the Rockets. Remember that? I could just see I'm watching the game and they interrupted again. It's like deja vu. Oh my God, now what? Because they did interrupt the game to bring that on TV. Do you remember? Anybody? Now they publish house for the first time. No, forget it. Forget about that, Moses. That's never gonna happen. That's symbolic in nature. The president would never sign it. That's bullshit. Don't ignore that. That's political in nature completely by the Democrats. That is bullshit. Don't buy anything into that. That's just politics. There's no weight in that at all. I mean, like zero. Nothing. Absolutely flatline on that. So don't buy into that. We know that that's the case. I know you're in Israel. You may not know, but trust me. I trust me. There's nothing. There's no weight to that. Zero. And I'm sure a lot of other people in this chat would agree with me on that. Orders arriving. You know, I need to get the hell out of here because it's getting crazy. He's 1 minute away. Bullshit. Let's see. Let's do the camera. Because otherwise, they don't deliver half the time to my house. I got to go chasing them. They can't find my house. It is absurd, actually. It's absurd what I got to go through. Chasing down deliveries. But for pizza, there's no problem. Well, there he is. There he is. There he goes taking a picture. Let me say thank you. Gracias. Thank you. Thank you. Gracias. Buenos días. I give them a tip automatically. It's included in the order. It just got delivered. You guys just seen that. So you know I'm busy. Oh my God. Seinfeld did a parody of that. So now it's saying delivered. Those were the messages that were coming. But at least I don't have to go nowhere now. And chase. Anyway, I got to get out of here. Let me just check if there's last minute anything else coming out. Nothing on Telegram. I'm going to check Iran International. I really got to go. There's too much. What? Yeah, they are going to come with them. They already are planning that. This is not news. They're trying to create pipelines so that they can't be held hostage in the Strait no more. The countries, the Arab countries are doing it. Iran will just target the pipelines. But this is weird. 35 minutes ago. Ebrahim Azizi, head of Iran's Parliamentary National Security Foreign Policy Commission, responded on X on Wednesday after White House Deputy Chief of Staff Dan Scavino posted an hourglass video sharing footage of a missile test and writing, "We'll see what happens." What the fuck? And I think I'm following Scavino. What did he put? Yeah, I'm following. Let's see. This is the video. Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of Iran. It's just a GIF. That's all it is. Replying to him. Ha! Oh shit. But this was yesterday. That's kind of bizarre. Ibrahim is here. Well, let's see. Let me look at his X account. Let's see what he responded to the hourglass exactly. If I can find it. I don't know if we'll find him. It's not coming up. But he posted something. He was Azizi. Maybe I should just take this out. Or maybe it's spelled different. Is this him? It looks like him. Oh, that definitely looks like him. We'll see what happens. Oh, shit. He did. 54 minutes ago. With the hourglass post, he responded with this. And these are the people we're negotiating with. Just think of this. We're negotiating. We're trying to negotiate with these people. Or the one. Or the three. Taika, what are you doing? Just think about it. This is the mentality. It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, but it's not going to be approved. It's never going to be signed into law, into an act. It won't. The president will never sign it. Exactly. It is a waste of taxpayer money. It's a political stunt. That's all this is. It's a political stunt. Let's call it for what it is. It's a Democrat political stunt. Plain and simple. And they know it's not going anywhere, so why are you bothering to make a statement politically? So you could run it in campaign ads in midterms for November? It's a political stunt. It's as clear as day what this is about. I mean, you've got to look at things in practical, real... I mean, it is. This... It's such a joke. And it is a waste of taxpayers' time and money. And it's also time because you're wasting you represent us, and you're wasting our time by bringing that through all that bullshit, only knowing that it's not going to go nowhere. Can't you focus on something that might actually end up being beneficial to the people of the country instead of playing these political stunt games? I mean, seriously. It's nonsense. About what? Opinion about what? Because he's running. But this... They're just trying... This is more of a political stunt, Moses, by the Democrats here. But the reason the only reason Rubio says the war is over is because of the War Powers Act, that if they were to restart, the clock ticks based on that. So they're careful not to go down that route. But I honestly think that the War Powers, if the president and the administration, I think, maybe not the Democrats, but I still think you could get it passed. Support for engagement with Iran. Because really, it's political. Again, it's political. It's just ridiculous. Exactly. Trump will definitely veto it. It's a stunt. It's a political stunt. So who God only knows. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I need to get off now. There is nothing else new going on that I see, like from the post I'm checking. Everything seems quiet at the moment. So with that being said, I'm going to bail out because I do got some things to do and I got to address them. And that is the latest. And of course, the Persian Gulf oil producers are discussing new pipeline projects that would allow crude exports to bypass the Strait of Hormuz if disruptions to shipping persist, according to a senior Kuwaiti oil executive reported by the Financial Times. He said Kuwait was in talks with Saudi Arabia and the UAE about potential pipeline routes that could connect Persian Gulf oil production to export terminals outside the strategic waterway. The report said Kuwait is also discussing potential oil storage facilities in Oman on the other side of the strait. Saudi Arabia and the UAE already operate pipelines that allow some oil exports to bypass Hormuz, but new projects will be needed to accommodate other producers. That's definitely going to be done. They have to create that option so they don't be held hostage by Iran, that the strait is where they're going to be exporting the oil from. They can do it in the Red Sea like Saudi does, the East-West pipeline, and they can all connect to it and make it go a different route. I don't think it's going to go to the Mediterranean unless it goes through Egypt, because it ain't going through Israel. You could bet on that. If they were smart, they would go through Egypt. If they really, because Iran is just going to target their pipelines, no matter what, if it came down to it. But it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. An alternative means to get the oil out. Iran's on their own with the oil that they sent to China and India, whoever. But with the other countries, the Arab countries, that really are, that's where the EU, you know the deal. to figure out another alternative route so all these ships aren't stranded in one place for months and months and months, and that Iran can hold it hostage again. Create an alternative option. It's a good idea to me. It's not like they don't have the freaking money. It's a freaking pipeline. Now, there's a lot of flat terrain. You know, is it really going to be that difficult? There's a lot of desert. That's always an issue. But otherwise, would it really be? It's miles and miles and miles. I mean, it's a lot of work. But that's a good idea. It is, Wallace. It is a joke. But it's politics that's at its worst, Wallace. It really is. It really is. It's an embarrassment. You guys know that that's not going anywhere. You're wasting our time, taxpayer money, for what? So you could put it on the record and use it for advertisements come in the months leading to the midterms? I mean, is that what it's about? It's pathetic. It really is. It's politics. It just drives me nuts. But anyway, I gotta run. Love to all of you. Wait. What is this? Before I go, Diesel's got something in here. Oh, I like that. That is pretty cool. We gotta show this video. A Redditor living on the SFO's takeoff pad built a ceiling projection that maps every plane flying over their house. Yeah, I have military mostly. In real time using ADS-B, the open radio signal aircraft broadcast on 1090 megahertz. Same feed as Flight Radar 24 picked up with a cheap SDR dongle and beamed onto the ceiling. That is freaking cool looking. Don't give me ideas. Like I need more toys. Wow, they showed the plane above the house and how it's being displayed on the ceiling. That is pretty freaking cool looking. See, now this, believe it or not, this could be helpful to me. Why? Skywatches. If we see an object, we would know. I could look at my ceiling. Oh no, that's a plane. That actually could be helpful to me while I'm doing live skywatches. I can confirm it's an aircraft. I'm just saying, that actually works for me. For what I do, that actually could come in handy. Seriously, I gotta look into this more. Diesel, can you look into that a little bit more in detail? Because I'm good. I'm a geek, nerd with tech like things, but I have to figure this out. I could easily use a projector. Oh, I definitely like that. I like that. I could even have another camera pointing to the ceiling, displaying it. Like when we see something, I could put that camera on and we could see, no, look, everybody, it's a plane. That'd be a pretty cool feature, no? You see, you're going to make me go crazy now. Diesel, can you look into the exact for me if you can? Please do me the favor. If you could look up the details, like what items I would need to make that work properly the way we're seeing. All right, do that, please. Yes, please do that for me because my time is crazy now. And I really thank you and appreciate that. I want that. I want that. I want that. Oh, that's so freaking cool. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. As crazy as this sounds, I could do it on my ceiling because that would make the most sense. Other than the ceiling fan in the way. I definitely want to look into this. Thank you. Today the cave is bright. What do you mean, like the man cave here. It's beautiful out. It's bright and sunny. I was in the pool. It was nice. But I gotta go. I really gotta go now. I gotta go. Go New York, go New York, go. Sorry, fans of the Spurs. Good luck to your team, though, if you're a fan. But I'm going to go watch that game tonight. And I got to do a munchie run. I got to do some stuff. Anyway, love to all of you. Be well, be blessed, be safe. Keep an eye out for the usuals that we all follow. Most of us follow, or some follow. I know Speak the Truth was live earlier. I don't know what the situation was with Tusi or Steve or I'm sure Goldie's live with Armin, or Armin's live with Ali, or Ali is live. All that. The Enforcers at 10 Eastern. I don't know if I can stay up to watch that tonight because I got to get up early for the doctor. Good night, Sarah, Martin, Diesel, Dave, Wallace, all of you in there. I would have to scroll. Moses, all of you in there. Enjoy the rest of your evening, morning, whatever it is where you are. Daryl was here earlier. Lorenzo, Josh, Hungry, Gitmo, Nick, Thomas, John, Bob, all of you. Forget about that Congress powers thing, Martin. Ignore it. We have to tell people, ignore it. It's not going anywhere. It's bullshit. Don't ignore it. I'm telling you, ignore it. I wouldn't say that. Ignore it. It's not going anywhere. It's like catching everybody's attention because it's being posted everywhere about this, that the House passed it. It's going nowhere. It's never going to go in anywhere because the president's never going to sign off on it. So that's done deal. Don't pay no mind to that. And of course, 006. 006, I don't know if you have access to it, go watch the trailer for the new James Bond game. It actually mentions it mentions 009, 006. I was like, get the freak out of here. This is crazy. He's got to see this. Go check out, if you can, the trailer for the new Bond game. And I was freaking out because it was like 009. It was crazy. Anyway, I'm out. I got to go. Love to all of you.